we've got Adam Lallana in the studio at BT for this match. Have you got
Wow.
a message?
About a player, about a person, about a guy. Unfortunately, Adam, now we have not enough time to praise you appropriately. But one of the best I ever worked with.
Nice. Is the feeling mutual? I think it probably is.
It is mutual, yeah. It was obviously a privilege to spend 5 years working under him. I learned a lot, and I'm definitely, obviously, going to be a Liverpool fan moving forward.
Look, you clearly have a lot of time for him, he has a lot of time for you, but I am interested in how relentless life actually is under Jürgen Klopp. It can't be all smiles and rock. No,
it's very intense. When you hear kind of people say that, they dedicate their life to the football club, that literally is the case. Even just as little as training times start in the afternoon, your whole morning will just be building up to training, and as I said, there's a lot of sacrifice for playing for that football club. It's worth every moment, especially when you're lucky enough to win silverware like we did the last couple of years.
I went to the training ground to interview Jürgen Klopp, and walking round, obviously, he allowed me to walk round, which was not something I've been used to around a training ground as being an ex-player. But I walked round, it just felt so harmonious. It felt like everyone was relaxed, and it was right at the time when you were going for the title. And I was thinking, how does he get that balance between sometimes when players aren't playing, it can be a bit of animosity, but just didn't feel that at all. Even players that weren't playing felt part of the group. I mean, how has he managed to keep everyone happy and pulling in the same direction?
I think that's one of his, big qualities. Over the last couple of years, in my spell at Liverpool, I didn't play so much. And of course, at times you're frustrated. But he has the ability to, just like that, kind of have you back fighting for not just the team, but him. And that's just man management skills. I'm sure he wouldn't have had that straight away. He's an experienced manager now, so he would have learnt a lot, I think, in his early years.
And how about the character of players as well? Surely that's important. I feel like every player he brought in has added something on the field, but off the field, it seems to me, from the outside looking in, that everyone seems to be a good lad, pulling in the right direction. There's no bad eggs. It's
a special group. I think when he took over, it probably took him 2.5 years to get the core of the group to how he wanted it. And you have to look at the squad now. There's leaders everywhere. Obviously Hendo's the captain, but you've got 7 or 8 captains in that dressing room, and I think that goes a big way to why they've had such success over the last couple of years. And the production team were insistent that this particular goal gets shown this evening. I'm not sure whether it's because I'm a Norwich fan or because you're here, but it's a painful watch for me, but a great one for you. And this is interesting because actually this was in a period where things weren't going particularly well, were they? I'm interested in how different life was at Liverpool at this time, whether he was doing the same things then that he was doing last season when you won the league. Well, we were taking 2 steps forward, 1 step back at that time. We'd have a couple of good performances, and then I remember we went away to Hull, lost 2-0, and backs against the wall, and it was tough. But he had his philosophy, he had his way, and he knew. There was a couple of big performances in his first couple of years. I think going to the Etihad and winning a couple of times, and that's when we just knew we needed to believe and trust him. And we've never looked back, or Liverpool have never looked back. And last season, as you were getting towards the title and we were building it up and making lovely video montages and talking about 30 years and all that, how much were you talking about the title at Melwood, in the dressing room? How much was that the topic of conversation? Well, we weren't. It's kind of as simple as that, yeah, we weren't. Especially after the season before, having such a successful season and not winning it. There was just something ingrained in the group just to focus on the next game. Obviously, we went on a wonderful run. I think it was 24 games unbeaten. But it was just the next game. And obviously, the break happened and we thought anything could happen at that point. So, when we came back, obviously, we refocused and just took it a game at a time. And it was nice that we were all together when the moment finally happened.